Boys and girls, it is Sunday, January 21st, and I just started out this morning. Well, I've been driving for about 3 hours now. Let's see, I started out at 5 o'clock Pacific time. Well, that's when I logged on. No, I logged on at 4 o'clock. Yeah, so it's been about 2 hours. So I've been driving for about 2 hours, and I'm headed to. I still can't pronounce the name of the town there without looking at it. Oconomowoc, not Wisconsin. Wisconsin. Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. So I have a load of bananas. They want to be kept at 64 degrees, so of course I got my reefer going, keeping them at 64. And it's pretty foggy out this morning, so I'm sorry I don't have a dash cam. I can't really show you the road and what it looks like outside. Obviously I'm driving, so I can't, be holding my cell phone and, taking pictures like that. That wouldn't be safe. So safety first, when you're driving 80,000 pounds of mass down the highway, it can be unstable if you're not paying attention. So you gotta be real careful about distractions. So hopefully eventually I'll have a dash cam, but for now just have to go with a cell phone. Today what I'd like to do is my goal is to make it to the Petro that's about 45-50 minutes away from my delivery. I like the TAs and Petros. Well, honestly, I don't really like TA and Petro. I prefer the pilots and the Flying J's. And actually, even Loves is better than TA. But, my company gives me bonuses if I buy fuel from TAs and Petros because they have an account with them. So I tend to stop there more because that's where all my shower credits are. Because, like I've explained before, the truck stop chains give you shower credits every time you buy fuel with them. And so when I stop there, then I can take free showers with the shower credits I have accumulated on my loyalty card. So I'll stop there tonight. I'll refuel so that I'm ready for my next run and take a shower, get cleaned up. And then tomorrow morning I deliver at 3:30 in the morning. That's Eastern time because I'm in the Eastern time zone. Well, I will be. I'm in Central time zone right now, but by the time I get there, I'll be in Eastern. So anyways, my goal is to make it there. I'll spend the night there, and then I'll do the last 45-50 minutes, tomorrow morning. So I just read an article about Tesla's coming out with an electric truck scheduled to debut 2019. They're already taking orders for it. It's a interesting truck. According to the article, it says it shows a picture, which I'll see if I can include it in the video. I'm still kind of new at the video editing, so I'll see if I can get a picture to insert into the video so that you can see it. But anyways, it features the driver is in a center position on the truck, so there's only one seat in the front, which is actually kind of disappointing to me because I like to have the ability to bring a passenger with me sometimes. If I'm allowed by my company. Of course, if I bought one of these trucks, it'd be my own truck, so I'd have the freedom to do that because I'd own the truck. But I would assume the pictures weren't very detailed, so I would assume that there's room to have a passenger maybe in the bunk in the back. But obviously they wouldn't be able to sit in the front seat position with you. They'd be behind you. So that's kind of cool. There's a lot of talk in the industry about, Tesla and some other companies with their self-driving technology, of making the truck driver obsolete. So I'm not really too fearful about that, at least for me, affecting me, because I'm 41 years old, and I don't plan on doing this until I die. So I think it's going to be at least 20 years before we're going to see like completely autonomous trucks, like with no drivers. I mean, even trucks that are capable of operating autonomously, I think for safety reasons will still have a driver on board who's capable of taking over. But I think even completely autonomous trucks is going to be a ways off. I mean, on the highway, that's fine, but when you get into city traffic and backing into loading docks and usually you need a human being to do that. I mean, there's a lot of complicated things there. And you got to communicate with the dock. There's no continuity with the dock workers and the shipping and receiving. It's a very splintered industry. So I find it very unlikely that we're going to have completely driverless trucks anytime soon. So I'm not really too worried about it. So I'm excited. I would love to have a Tesla truck. Now, the specs on this truck, Tesla is claiming that it will be able to drive up to 500 miles on a single charge. That they're going to be, alongside their supercharger network, they're going to be putting in mega chargers. I would presume they're probably putting the mega chargers at the truck stops because they're already equipped for drivers to be able to, take showers and stuff there. To handle the needs of drivers, that we can take care of that while we're charging. So the mega chargers are going to be able to give an 80% charge within a half an hour, which is similar to the superchargers for the Tesla cars. And although they didn't say, I would assume that a full charge would probably be about 2 hours. So, that's fine because 500 miles of driving, that's about what you normally do in a day. Some people push it farther than that, but, if they run really hard. But, and of course, it probably depends on how many hills you're climbing and how much start-stop, obviously. It's going to make a difference on your consumption. But for the most part, I think it's pretty good. Obviously it'd be nice to have more capacity, but you have to take a half-hour break after 8 hours of being on duty, anyways. So at some point in that first 8-hour period, you have to take a half-hour break. So, and most drivers honestly take 45 minutes to an hour, So, if you stop and plug into your mega charger while you're taking that break, you're probably going to get about 90% charge. Now, after driving 8 hours, assuming you go the full 8 hours before you take your break, most people don't. Most people take their break between 4 and 7 hours, somewhere in that 3-hour period, to kind of break it up a little bit, because after 8 hours, if you've been driving for 8 hours, well, you can only drive 7.5 hours on that first 8 hours, because you got to do a pre-trip inspection first, which takes a half hour. So after your pre-trip inspection, you've already been on duty for a half hour, and so you got 7.5 hours of drive time left before you have to take your half-hour break. Okay, so if you drive for 7.5 hours, you're only allowed to drive for 11 hours a day. So you've only got 3.5 hours left. So if you're getting an 80% charge for even just taking, let's say you go back to work in exactly a half hour, you got 80% charge back, okay, you're not going to use that 80% in 3.5 hours, so I think it's fine, obviously I'd like to see more, just to prevent range anxiety, it's always nice to have more than you need, but I think the 500-mile range is enough, it's enough to minimally get by, so if they can pull that off, hey, more power to them. And Tesla has a reputation for getting it done, so I have no doubt that they're going to do it, no doubt whatsoever. I'm really excited about it. I don't know how long I want to stay in this industry, so I'm debating whether or not I want to invest in a truck like that. If I do, I would like to buy a truck and not just be a company driver. There's a lot of perks to owning a truck. Of course, it requires a lot more responsibility too, of course. A lot more expenses, but you also make more money too. So, as long as you're managing it properly, of course. Some people say, oh, no, I made more money as a company. Well, it depends on how you manage it. And, of course, the company you work for, how good they are at getting you work and stuff. Because, obviously they're not paying the bills anymore when you're an owner-operator. But in any case, sorry about this positioning here of the camera. My holder, the vibration of the truck doesn't... It's on a vent mount, and the vents on this truck are actually sideways. They're vertical instead of the normal horizontal vents, and the holder is designed for horizontal vents, and so it doesn't really hold it real steady. It kind of sags down, when I put it on vertically. It's the only way to do it, so, maybe at some point I'll rig up something to try to make it more stable, but for now I'm just working with what I got. So anyways, I guess I'm stuck up here on the upper right hand corner of the screen. I'm feeling a little claustrophobic up here, but oh well, that's the way it is. So anyways, I'm not sure if the Tesla truck is going to come with its own trailer, or I would assume that it would have to be able to pull normal trailers. It'd be nice if it had an option to buy a trailer with it. I mean, you could actually put a powered trailer on something like that with extra batteries that could take the load off the tractor and kind of distribute the load between the tractor and the trailer. And so that would take some of the pulling burden off of the tractor, which would let the tractor batteries have more range because it's not pulling as much weight. And it would also, because the trailer has its own batteries and drive system, it would give it more range too, because you'd be able to combine that capacity between them. Because obviously the trailer drive system isn't going to be working so hard because it's only pulling its own weight. Probably for handling and control, you'd want to still let the tractor pull a little bit, so the drive unit on the trailer can take most of the burden of the trailer, but you'd still want to leave a little bit of a pull there just so that the tractor can maintain good steering control for the trailer, you know. So the trailer would merely be an assistive device, taking maybe 80% of the load, you know, of off the tractor, and you know, pulling 80% of its own weight, and still leaving a 20% drag on the tractor, so that the tractor can maintain a pull on the kingpin to maintain proper steering control. Okay, so it is now 10:15, and I've stopped at a pilot to take my half-hour break. So I'm going to go in and use the bathroom and maybe get a bite to eat when I'm back in the truck. I've got lots of food in the truck. I just did some shopping yesterday, and my refrigerator is full. My pantry is full. Yeah, I got a lot of good stuff to eat. So, yeah. Okay, so getting back in the truck here. Got done with my responding to my call of nature. And let's see here. We get some food here. Look at all this food I got. Oh my goodness. And the freezer falls open because there's so much of it. There is a lot of food here. It's just stuffed, and even the door is stuffed. So I think what I'm going to do is, let's see. I think I'm going to have, see, I got this here. Let me turn on the light for a better lighting here. I'm starting to get a lot of stuff here. See, I hate throwing away recyclable stuff, and normally I put all my recyclables in that bottom cabinet there, but I've been out for almost 3 weeks, and as you can see, it's starting to overflow, and so I've kind of put some stuff under the table too. But I'll be back in a few more days and clear all this out and make sure it all goes in the recycle bin. So I got some meat here. It's ham, sliced ham, and it's delicious. So have that, I think, for, I'm going to have a baguette sandwich, so I'll have some cheese slices there, and some mayonnaise to put on that. And see, the refrigerator is so full it doesn't even want to stay closed. I have to put the pin in. The pin is meant to just keep it from flying open, you know, while you're driving, but at this point it needs to be in just to be closed. And I've forgotten to put that pin in before, even when it's not stuffed full like that. And like when you, because the refrigerator is on the left-hand side of the truck, if I make a left-hand turn too fast, then the weight of all the stuff that's on the door on the inside here, the centrifugal force will act on that, and the door will just swing open, and then of course everything comes flying out of the refrigerator that's inside the refrigerator. So yeah, I gotta remember to put that pin in when I go. So yeah, I think that's gonna be my little snack for this break. Look how yummy that sandwich looks. It's a ham and cheese baguette. Yum. I've taken my half-hour break, and now I am about ready to head out again here. And let's see, do a quick tug test here to make sure nobody pulled my pin on my trailer. It's a safety precaution that I take every time I leave the truck when I come back, because you never know, you know, sometimes you get these road rage drivers, you know, you inadvertently cut them off, or maybe even not cut them off, but they perceive that you did, you know, and they, so they do something vengeful, and the landing gears on these trailers are really hard even when you don't have a load on them. Generally, you don't lower them all the way down. You lower them within like an inch of the ground, and then you pull out from under it, and the trailer settles down onto it. And then the fifth wheel has like
in 1,000 feet.
It's got an angle on it, so when you back under it, it actually lifts the trailer back so that the landing gear is again about an inch off the ground, and then you
turn right onto the ramp.
So anyways, imagine if your landing gear is all the way up and then you pull out from under it.
Turn right onto the I-57 North ramp.
Hold your pin and it falls to the ground. Now you gotta crank it
in a quarter mile. Merge onto I-57 North.
And especially like right now when it's loaded, that would be really hard. It'd probably take me a half an hour, 45 minutes of just really hard cranking, so I always do that little tuck test just to make sure, and of course if I'm watching the gap between my tractor and the trailer, and if I see it's I'm starting to slide out from under it, then I stop before I do, and then I know to back under it to lock the pin again. It's never happened to me, but I've heard of it happening, and let me tell you, it's, I have had times where, I did have one time when I was working in the shipyards, when I was hauling cans, and I dropped an empty chassis. I forgot to lower the landing gear when I was disconnecting it. And that was just an empty chassis. There wasn't even an empty container on it. It was just an empty chassis. And I had to crank that sucker back up, and that was no picnic. So I can just imagine. And I've had times where I've had to crank these up a little bit, like maybe an inch or two, because it's just a little bit low for my wheel. Somebody didn't lower it down, lower the landing gear low enough before they disconnected it. Or maybe their truck was just lower than mine. And it's no fun. So I couldn't imagine having to do that the full, like, foot and a half, 2 feet, whatever the range is of the landing gear. God, that would suck. So, just as a precaution, I always do that little tuck test. So anyways, back on the road again. We got about 150 miles to go to the Petro, where I'm going to stop for the night. And it's still really foggy out. I can't believe how much it's sticking with us. It's not burning off. Sorry about this phone. It doesn't want to, because, God, this road sucks. So there's a lot of vibration. And so this thing doesn't want to stay up. But anyways, yeah, so a couple hours, about an hour and 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'll be there, and then I'll be done for the day. I'll do my fuel up and do my post trip, and then I'll be done. Okay, so now I decided not to go all the way to the Petro. It was a few more miles down the road, but I did just have a shower last night, and there's a truck stop here called the Kenosha Travel Center. That's it. Kenosha Travel Plaza. And it's a smaller truck stop, but I know somebody here in Kenosha. However, I haven't seen them in years. I have no idea how to get a hold of them. So I looked them up on Facebook and found them. And according to the pictures I can see on there, she's aged rather well. Wendy Parker, if you're out there, love to hear from you. Send me a private message or comment on the comments down below or whatever. But yeah, So I'd love to hear from her. So anyways, I doubt I'll probably hear from her before I leave tomorrow, but because I have to leave really early in the morning too, so unless it happens tonight. And I have to go to bed early too because of that. So but you know, I know they're somewhere around here, and I lived with them for a while when I was younger, and helped her take care of her kids, and yeah, just feel really kind of like I'm missing them these days. So anyways, maybe she'll make contact with me at some point in the future, and then next time I come through town I might be able to see her. But anyways, this is there's a truck going by, of course. All this time, not a single truck was going through, but the moment I'm going to show you guys the truck stop, my big old truck is broadside right in front of us. Anyways, this is it, the Kenosha Travel Plaza. And there's not much to it here, as you can see. It's pretty small. But this is where I'm going to be for the night. Okay, so that is today's video. So please, if you wouldn't mind, if you like this video, please like it, subscribe, and leave your comments. Thank you. Bye.